Fuck yes.
What is up, chat? How's it going? It's your boy Grybach. Listen, there's gonna be some scuff this stream, but you know what? That's okay. Hopefully the audio sounds fine enough, considering that it's in the middle of my kitchen. How do you like my standee? I could only afford a head of a cardboard standee, so Hey, it's your boy. That's right. Just the head. Exactly, exactly. You know, it's the most important part, especially for a VTuber, right? I mean, this is pretty much the exact same experience for you guys, right? Right? Yeah, he turned PNG. Oh, hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Are we eating off the Grywalk plate? No, I need to take this to conventions. So this is actually wearable, in theory, but most of the time what that does is I just have this strapped to my bag so that, you know, yada yada. Finger reveal? Oh, we've had finger reveals before, you know what I mean? Like, there's been all sorts of hand reveal. Yeah, you're gonna get some full-on, like, yeah, it's gonna be there. I will also say, today, probably obviously, I will have a little bit harder time responding to chat because, off screen over here, I have a phone, because it's very difficult to read chat, because over here is the laptop that I'm broadcasting from, and then over here is the microphone that you're hearing me on, and then right here is obviously the camera that you're seeing it on. So we're, you know, it's a whole process, okay? Oh my god. Alright, what am I gonna cook up? Yes, that's right. I am going to be painting. I'm going to be cooking General Tso's chicken. Okay? Alright. Yeah. Listen. I did like a 95% prep for this stream, okay? Like, I have all the stuff. I have it ready to go. I probably forgot one or two things, but I've been catching myself with things that I've forgotten all throughout the day. However, you know one thing that I didn't do? Time out how long it takes to cook this. What are you gonna do? No, it'll be a little while. Obviously, it's not like a 5-minute cook job, but I you know, we're just gonna roll with the punches. Okay, it's fine. We good. We Gucci. Painting, cooking with Bob Ross stream. Imagine. Guess we're gonna find out. Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know how much you guys want to, like, chill out here with, like, just the vibe before we start cooking, you know, or whatever. Let me know. If you guys want to chit-chat about whatever's going on. It's about to be 4th of July weekend, and I don't want to exist, like, publicly around the 4th of July, because fireworks and lines and, like, hot weather and just all that kind of dog shit. Are we bingoing today? Absolutely not. I don't really have a way to track it. So, and I also don't really think that I'll say enough things to hit a bingo anyway. So, should I keep up this bit of the mask is doing the talking? Like, as long as, until I start actually cooking? Yeah, no. There's gonna be no bingo today. I don't have a good way to track it from here, because I use my Stream Deck for that, and there's zero room for the Stream Deck in here. Yeah. We also, off screen, I have duct taped. I have literally duct taped this camera down, so I don't think we'll have any fucky-wucky whoopsies. But, you know, that's part of the risk. One other thing I didn't think about, because I did do some, like, test footage last night to, like, do as best as I could for the audio. One thing I also didn't check is, you know, how loud frying is gonna be. So, you know? Do I have baby hands? I do. I do have baby hands. Yeah, like, this is not a very large standee. Yeah, we've got small, here, I don't know, maybe this'll help. This is a measuring cup. And, like, my hand goes that far around it. I would say that I have, like, standard hands for a woman. But I am a 5'8" male. So that's a little bit of a missize, you know? Yeah, it's cooking time, that's right. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. Standard woman hands. Yeah, pretty much. I have held hands, hand to hand, with many women, and it looks pretty much exactly like this. And then I go to their boyfriend or husband, and it's like this. Like, their hand can literally wrap almost my entire... They can wrap, like, 2 full knucks around the top of my knuckles with our palms touching, you know? Palm sweaty, mom spaghetti, something, something. So, you know, that's true. Yes, they are short but girthy. Yeah, I did post that YouTube short about how I have, like, the thick gamer hands, right? And people were like, are the small hands in the room with you? And I'm like, brother, maybe you don't understand the scale, okay? They're short. My hands are short stacks. I think that's the takeaway. Like, they're small, but, like, they thick. And you know... We're just gonna have to be okay with it, because there's nothing you can do about that. Your hands are your hands, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness, my emotional support chef is here? Let's go. They small, but they're good at gripping? Yes, they're really good at working out knots, you know? My wife loves me. I mean, she may be upset sometimes at, like, you know, how bad her shoulders are. But anyway, hey, Raki, how's it going? How is it going? So, another thing that I didn't... you know, this whole planning 90% thing, the next part of this planned 90% is that I forgot until yesterday, which was coincidentally just in time, that I needed to do some of this cooking a day in advance, which is to say the marinating, because there is a marinating step in here, okay? So, there's a PNG instead of a model. That's right, that's me, the PNG in the corner. There ain't no room for phone tracking in this kitchen. Ain't gonna happen. I would have to significantly fuck with some things to make that happen. So you got PNG tuber Gray. So, as sort of a double duty, in order to check the audio and the video quality and all that, I recorded myself prepping the marinade. So I figured I can just play that, because I was talking to you guys like you were here, like you could hear me, you know, in theory. And so I do have the video of the pre-prep that I was thinking I should just play at the start of stream. However, the part I didn't think about is, like, okay, so how do we want to, like, talk to each other while the video is playing? Because, like, obviously I can talk now, but, like, I also talk in the video. So, like, should I pause the video, or should I, like, just talk over myself? Like, what do you guys want, chat? What are your thoughts? Let me hear. This is that last 5% that I did not plan out. Okay, listen, he's you know, he's a dummy. I should argue with myself. Amazing. You know what? Listen, I could do that. It's entirely possible. So I'm sort of just waiting to start showing the pre-prep footage, so to speak. But we still have once the pre-prep footage is done, then we have to get all of our spices today measured out, put into their containers. Food prep for the ginger and garlic, put them all out ready to go. Then I have to bread the chicken, deep fry the chicken, and then make the sauce, and then toss them in the sauce. So we like have a lot of non-pre-recorded content that, you know, is gonna come after the recording. Maybe mute chat so it's accurate. If you remember what you did, you can explain it again in real time and just mute the video. That's true. That is true. I don't know. I feel like the ad-lib commentary at the time was good, but you know, we can play around with it. Arguing is funnier. Yeah, exactly. And this is where my recipe went wrong. Yeah, measure spices, just use feeling. You know, that is kind of... I'm like a half and half on measuring spices. It's like I take whatever they tell me, and I'll put like the teaspoon in, or a tablespoon or whatever, and then I'll kind of just like heap some extra on afterwards, and it's like the recipe is the bare minimum, and then we add with feeling, you know? Cooking is an art, baking is a science. Yes, that is true. That's true. Because the thing is, those of you who are cooking inept, so to speak, the thing is that baking almost always is like a perfect balance of ingredients that will react and rise or things like that in the oven. Whereas like cooking, you're usually not doing as complicated of chemical reactions, and so your proportions will affect the taste, but they won't affect whether it will exist as the dish you are intending most of the time, right? So if you're like trying to bake a cake and you just get the amount of flour wrong, like you're just fucked. You just don't have a cake. Like it's no longer cake. And same with like cookies and all those things. It's like if you get the wrong chemistry, you are quite literally cooked. Whereas with cooking, it's like, well, like maybe the taste gets fucked up, but like it's pretty rare that cooking with feeling is a problem, other than sucking. Weed brownie, I mean, what? Yeah, I don't know where you can buy the weed brand of brownies. Surely it's a store-bought brand, right? Of course, you know, of course. Would this count as reacting on stream? Yeah, unfortunately we're not doing bingo, but I do think that it would count as reacting on stream. You know, if you guys want to play bingo all on your own, you know, that's up to you guys, okay? If you guys want to generate bingo sheets and track whether I said it, I do have mods here and VIPs that I think have a good enough feel on what I'm doing, and or if I say so. So if you guys want to play bingo, go ahead. You know, do whatever. Feel like cooking rice or pasta is kind of a middle ground. That's true. I mean, but I think the thing is it'll still be rice or pasta. It'll just be shitty rice or pasta. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be too hard or it'll be too soggy. But, like, it's still rice or pasta. But, like, a cake that does not, like, rise is just completely something else. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can we mods? Guess that's a yes. I mean, listen, go for it. Go for it. If this drives engagement, go for it. Okay. It sounds like it's time to roll the footage, as they say. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove my face. Also, today we are repping my Oshi, Calliope Mori, with her Gamer Subs cup. Yes, that does count as Oshi reference. What is a cake that doesn't rise but a crepe? Yeah, exactly, but you've made something completely different. Like, facts. Roll that beautiful footage, alright. Okay, first I need to, mute the music. Because I had music yesterday. It's going great, okay? It's going great, guys. It's going great. Let me know how the volume is. Okay. Now, hopefully, you should all be getting these beautiful sounds. Now, this is going to be new for all of us. I have cooked this several times before, but it's been a hot minute. And did I fully prepare ahead of time? No. I prepared a decent amount ahead of time. But I'm realizing that there's still lots of things that I didn't prepare. So it's almost like I've been here before. You know, we're freeballing it, all right? We're going ham. We're going hamando. Now, normally, this probably won't surprise you, but I am more of a breast man. However, for especially fried chicken, it is a lot better to have thighs because thighs have a lot more fat in them, and so they stay a lot juicier when you deep fry them. Which is what you want. You tell them, Pastor I. Fuck me. Also, any chefs in the chat, don't fucking come at me for putting my finger on it. I like the steadying action. I know that ostensibly you are supposed to, you know, but like, we do the finger test, alright? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, apparently proper cutting etiquette, you don't have your index finger along the back of the blade. You're just supposed to, like, rock at the elbow. Okay. But I hate doing that. Yeah, lots of fingering, boy! You pinch the blade. Honestly, listen, I was low-key considering just saying fuck it to YouTube DMCA and just putting on the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack for this whole stream. You're goddamn right I was. But we decided to get the music from my other PC. Ho ho! We don't want those little bones, though. There we go. Okay, okay. Also, it wouldn't be a Gry experience stream without our handy dandy That's a clean one. Handy dandy. That's a clean open. Now, for all of you in chat, I want you to notice. A lot of you guys are going to get a lot more ASMR sounds. And you're just going to have to live with that. That's too fucking bad. I want to point out, the reason that I opened that a little awkwardly is because my left hand was the raw meat hand, okay? And the right hand had not touched meat. The dry hand and the wet hand. Cut our chicken. So I just opened it entirely with the dry hand for cleanliness, okay? Listen, fortunately, all of the reflective surfaces in my kitchen, or at least all of the metallic ones, are brushed, which means that they don't really reflect a mirror sheen. They just, you know, they reflect some light, but it's hard to tell. Now, of course, that does not count as alcoholic, because that's just something that literally happens at the start of every stream. Here and thoroughly clean any of our tools that touch raw chicken. Well, yes, but then I immediately went to wash my hands. Health is of the utmost importance here. It's fine. That was the end, okay? Especially with raw meats. Because you do not want to get yourself, food poisoning, even if it's for content. Even for the content. Okay. Great. Next up, we need to prep some of our other veggies and or sauce materials. Okay, you know what? Reasonable point. What if somebody in chat just said they can't tell which one of me is moving because the Fugi talks? Okay, right side Fugi is present, left side is past, moving forward in a line. How's that? Okay, we'll just yeah. Did I only use meat products? What does that mean? Can I make the video smaller? I think this works fine. This is fine. Okay. Put this here. Get out some measuring tools, which I promise we'll definitely do ahead of time tomorrow.
Sure I will. Actually, I can do even one better.
Ooh, these are... Well...
There.
Well...
Alright. Present me is cute Fugi. Past me is, you know, good, is like model Fugi. How's that?
Great. Definitely am not getting it fresh out of the dishwasher. Source, trust me.
Oh, yeah. Before that was, I was literally just cutting the meat. That was the only thing I touched. Additive. We are taking 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Got ourselves some supreme soy sauce, as one does. Now, I always put just a little extra, especially when we're marinating, because
it'll be fine. That's why.
Next up, somebody who can speak Chinese, please tell me how to pronounce this. I always say Shaoxing or Shaojing, but I have no idea how you actually pronounce that. Ooh. Actually, a little hard to get this one off. It's been a hot minute. Yeah! Dude, I was fucking struggling, you guys. Okay, we're gonna be cleaning this one off tonight so that it's easier to do this tomorrow, because that was a bit rough. Regardless, we also have a tablespoon of cooking wine.
Okay. Some salt. And my personal favorite,
MSG. Now, it just says, you know, like a pinch. But, fuck that. We salty boys here. That's right. Okay, for the flavor, as one says. Okay, let's see. I'm hydrating in the present.
Next, we have to get the ginger and garlic.
Now I'm going to pull this off the side. We're going to bring back our cutting board, now that it has been cleansed and wiped down. And we're going to bring out a few more tools that I like to use that are a little, you know, non-standard. Oh, the fresh ginger smells so good. Let's see. So, it's an inch of ginger. So we're gonna say that's about an inch, give or take. So an inch of ginger and that's right, Chad. It's time to bring out the toys.
Now, as we all know, anybody who cooks will tell you that you take however much garlic it tells you and double it.
Chad, are you with me on that one? This is like 3 cloves, so we'll go 1.5.
That's fine. I can put these away for tomorrow, because I need more of both of them for the final concoction.
Number of cloves equals number of heads? Jesus Christ.
Okay. Okay, so this is a technique. I cannot be trusted with sharp objects that are near my hands, like graters or slicing vegetables. However, I learned that you can peel ginger quite easily by getting it wet. Step 1, always get it wet enough. And then using a spoon, because a spoon, first of all, won't hurt you, but it's pretty good at just peeling off the outer layer without having too much loss like you would have with a knife or like a potato peeler. And it's quite easy, especially if the ginger is fresh. And so this is my go-to way of peeling the ginger bark off, I guess. I don't know exactly what you'd call it. But it comes off quite easily, and you can kind of just, like, do it like this.
Yeah, it does depend on what you're doing. I really probably didn't need to take the
pro tips if you are afraid of cutting yourself. It is quite an easy way to do it with zero real risk unless you sharpen your spoons like some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Mad Max, you know, like my prison shiv my prison shiv spoon or whatever. Already smells amazing.
That's right. You've heard of sporks, but what about spifes? Spinifes. Spinife sounds like a Pokemon, actually. Now that I say that, does that not sound like a Pokemon?
And we're gonna get this garlic out of here. Now, I know that a lot of people like to take a knife to garlic and or a plate or whatever, but for a variety of reasons, actually this garlic is kind of resisting quite a bit. I don't like doing that. First and foremost, because knives and my hands don't get along. And second, because in this particular instance, we do have a camera and a laptop right here, and I don't want to have it get squirrely, so I'm just gonna peel this by hand myself. Get the outer skin off of it.
I feel like Spinife would be like bug steel.
Now, I probably should have
which we already have like too many of,
because
but
they're like kind of slippery from being all wet. Normally, I find it easier to peel garlic than this. But you know what? You're here to see what percentage I am boy failure versus somebody who can actually cook. And the answer is, I like to think that I am somebody who can cook, but prepping is a different matter, which is how we ended up with situations like my graphics card. Because
that's right.
You know, prepping is for people who don't worry about overdoing things. Okay. Good enough.
That's right, no preppies in chat. I like your joke about the mice in place. That's a... I don't know if that's an underrated joke, but it's a good one, because I do get it. That's a good one.
Oh, it smells fucking great, though. I'll tell you what.
I don't know, I'll say like 20% boy failure.
I'll tell you what, it smells great.
Now, I don't actually know how that is pronounced, because I don't know if it's like mise en place or whatever, because that's some fancy foreign words. But for any of you who don't know, it is essentially a cooking strategy, I guess I would say, of getting all of your ingredients prepared ahead of time before you start.
Now, I'm sure that this is causing many of you to roll your eyes in annoyance or wince in pain that we're doing this, you know, so inefficiently. However, it's called padding for time. It's for the content.
That's right. And
there
often
we go.
Then placing
you gotta
them
get under that
you
last
add
one
them.
because it just like it comes up real nice. There we go. And our last clove, so we're doing 1.5 times because who doesn't love a little garlic, you know? I mean, me, I'm a vampire. I'm glad to see chat was ahead of that joke like 15 minutes ago. Good job, guys. Got him. Well, so that's the thing. I could do that, but given, I was saying it earlier, given all of the technology that is immediately out of frame of this, I'm refraining. I am refraining of that.
Okay, so it took a little bit longer than I was expecting. However, the point is, I have another thing that I like to use. This was a gift from my parents when they traveled through Alaska, but I really like it for chopping up things like this. So 1 second. That's right, he's bringing out extra tools. He's not using one, but he's using multiple implements. Chat, if he was prepared, he would have gotten this ahead of time, because past Gry absolutely knew that he was going to use this. And yet, here we are with Dead Space for present Gry to fill. Not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty impressed that the sync comes through. This is called an Ulu knife, and I did just realize this moment that this is very reflective and less brushed, but that's okay. That's okay. It's great for just chopping all these types of things, especially into lots of little tiny chunks like you would do on a cutting board, except unlike on your cutting board, it is rounded edges, and so you don't have to like it's just like, it's easier than like regathering it back up, and it's also, you don't have to worry about it being as squirrely, because basically anything that gets put under any pressure here is going to fall back towards the center. And so you can kind of just do this, and you can just mince things up really tiny. And like, yes, you know, like I said, you could do this on a cutting board. However, first of all, it looks cool to have this like guillotine blade for cooking. And also, it's very easy and safe for your other hand. And so we're just gonna mince things, kind of like you do, but because, like I said, because it's rounded and because the blade is rounded, and the blade is rounded the same amount as the bowl, you can kind of just like rock it across the bowl. And I quite enjoy it. I have not thought about mortar and pestle, partly that would be good for the prep phase, but we actually need to fry the chunks of garlic and ginger for the second part, so I wouldn't want them mushed into a paste. So that would be a good adaptation for the first one. I actually do quite enjoy a mortar and pestle. So we're going to be busting this out tomorrow. There's something because I need to chop about it. More garlic and more ginger tomorrow. This should give you a good idea of just like how aromatic and tasty this is going to be, because that's a lot of aromatics that are going to be into both the marinade and the sauce. Because for the sauce, we're going to lightly fry it, you know, not deep fry, just regular like fry it in oil. Frying it in oil is the same thing as deep frying it, dipshit, but not quite. Mincing. Yeah, rather, you deep fry in oil. If we're worried that we're getting like too much of one angle, we can always just like do this and just rotate it. But I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, make sure you don't stay in one position for too long. A good rotation is optimal. Make sure you're hitting all of the right edges and places at the right time and giving them adequate attention. Deep frying is like baking in oil. I love that. You're not wrong. Oh, God, this smells so fucking good, you guys. I mean, basically, you're just describing an air fryer now. Baking his deep frying in the air. That's, I mean... Okay. Alright, so now we get to bring back our original mix here and add in all of this lovely garlic and ginger. knife here. If you're not an ASMR enjoyer, too fucking bad, because you can guess what's about to happen. And then we gotta get all up in this bitch.
That's right.
And just make sure that we
Get all
vigorously stir it. I hope you like ASMR squishing noises. Oh. The Garai classic, making inappropriate sounds and hand motions. Listen, at least I find myself funny still. This is a laugh through time. Okay. All right. So this is our marinade. Which I will seal up in some, you know, I was gonna use cling wrap, but that's really annoying, so I'm just gonna get a bag. A non-branded bag. Generic brand. And then I'm gonna like try and gather up as much of this extra aromatics that got left behind as I can. Okay. Hello, Ern. You were looking at the end of past Grybok doing food prep yesterday because I had to let this marinate overnight. Present Gry is on the right. Great. Now we're just gonna let this marinate overnight, and we're done with prep. I'll see you tomorrow. And imagine a sick transition 24 hours later. Actually, it's almost exactly 24 hours later. There we go. All right, we're gonna fix we're gonna fix our Fugi. Give me a sec. All right, we are now caught up to the present, and I'm gonna switch back to the model. And by model, I mean the model Fugi because, you know, it's easier. All right. Great. There we go. Excellent. All right, we are now caught up. This can just sit back there. We don't need that yet. Now, what are we going to do next? We are going to first measure out all the things that we need for the sauce, and partition them into their little containers. And then I will peel some more garlic and ginger and mince it up, because that also goes into the sauce. And then we're going to bread the chicken. Oh, music. Yes. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. There we go. All right. Then we're going to do, we're going to bread the chicken. Then we're going to fry the chicken. And then we're going to make the sauce and yada yada. So that's where we're at. Gotta head to bed? Okay. We are making General Tso's chicken. Yes, this is, I mean, it's not really a hand reveal. I've revealed my hands on stream. If you want to look at these little tiny raccoon paws in great detail, here they are. You know, they're just little guys. However, I saved this for this moment because the past Gry also had a drink.
this is a can for size, okay? So, like, if you look at a can like this, a can for scale, you know, if you look at a can like this, and you measure it on your own hand, this will give you a good scale that my hands are actually pretty small, especially for a man. However, let's go. All right. I'm surprised that that's, like, completely peeking out, because there should be an audio filter on it. You know what? It is what it is. It's gonna be what it is. So, we are making General Tso's chicken, as I said before. Good can open. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the sauce, we need another tablespoon of the wine. I am going to put it in a weirdly shaped whiskey glass. Because this one has to go in separately from all the other liquids. And so we are going to just keep that one liquid in its container. Whoop, ding ding. Fortunately, true to my word, I did actually wash that so it was easier to measure this time. Okay. Other liquids that go together are... the soy sauce and chicken stock. And we're going to measure those out. Let's see. So we have... half a cup of chicken stock that we will just pour straight in there. Hashtag not sponsored. Kind of have the same hand size? Yeah. So just think about relative hand size. If I am a 5'8" male, and then compare that to your height and or sex, and then think about that math a little bit. And then you can, you know, I think they're pretty small. Like I said, most of the time, if I go like this with a woman, it's like almost exactly like this. And when I go like this with a man, it's like this. They can like fully, cleanly envelop my entire hand. Let's see. Soy sauce, 3 tablespoons. That's actually quite a bit in this one. Okay. Busting out the premium again. The preem. Now this one, I don't really want to fuck with the proportions on, because the sauce is, like, an integral part to this whole thing, so, you know. Great, okay, so now we have our liquids for the sauce, and then we need to do the things I'm about to chop, and, yes, no, we have one more liquid, that's right. So the thing that also works very importantly for this sauce is we have to mix vinegar and cornstarch into a slurry, and you pour that in at the end to make it nice and dummy thick. You know, the dummy thickness to that sauce. Let's see, so that's a tablespoon of the cornstarch. Female 5'3", yeah, see, exactly. So yeah, I have about the same size hands as an average 5'2", an average 5'2" woman, usually clearing them by 5-6 inches of height, and it's, you know, so yeah, I you know, it's fine. I will say, it, like, low-key was a little annoying how much people were making fun of a certain politician's hand size. Because I'm like, okay. However, it's mostly funny because I know that it bothers him more than it bothers me, because I just accept that I have little raccoon paws, you know? Okay. Let's see. How much do we have? Vinegar, 1.5 tablespoons, okay. Now, in theory, I should have, you know, removed that, but I don't care. That's fine. Okay, so, to those of you who are cooking novices, this slurry is very important because you mix it up while it's cold, and it will basically turn into a, like, white liquid that when exposed to heat it'll just get so thick, and it's really important for making sure that the final product is exactly like what you want. And so when you mix it in cold like this, it's just liquidy. And so we're gonna use this. This is the very last thing that we're gonna be doing. So all of these three are basically the last phase of the sauce. And then we're gonna gather up the dry ingredients, and they can all go together because they all go in, well, most of them go in at the same time. So, we got all those. Let's see, so we do garlic, ginger, and red peppers. We'll grab the red peppers. That seems fine. Garlic and ginger go, and then in another container, we are going to put, we'll switch these since you've already looked at that. And then in this container, we are going to put our ground up chili flakes, a little bit of sugar, and actually, that's it. Yeah, the wine, and then the chili flakes and sugar. Yes, great. Okay. So, for the chili flakes, we've got some great, nice, ground up flakes. Recipe calls for, how much does this call for? 1 teaspoon? That's cute. Here's a tablespoon, which, if memory serves, is 3 teaspoons. And then there's about another half. I like it spicy, okay? I don't have white boy spice tolerance. I'm fine. We're good. Okay, and then last but not least, for out of the bag dry ingredients is sugar, which we don't need too much of. I think it's a tablespoon. Oh no, there's a couple tablespoons of sugar. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's white. It looks white on white. Yeah. Okay. 1. A 2. A 3. That's quite a bit, actually. That's actually a lot of sugar. Well, you know what? It is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, just making sure I didn't misread that as teaspoons. Not that that's ever happened to me in the past. In this stream, when I put a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon, it's on purpose, okay? It's totally different. And we're just gonna mix this up. Not that it super matters. Okay. Okay, and so then the order is basically we're going to go this first. Now, these are going to start going off screen because I only have so much real estate here. So yeah, so we're going to go with the stuff I'm about to chop is going to go actually first, then this, and this at the same time. And so this is that technique of mise en place, or whatever it is. So that it's easy to just go like, okay, boop, 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 boop. And you don't have to like frantically go while it's getting hot and cooking and having problems. So great. So that is all of that. And now we are going to chop our ginger and garlic for the day. So you're getting a little bit of a repeat show here. Is what a reference to something? Oh, wipe. Oh, no. I just feel like in general, I think it's usually more directed at British people, but it's like kind of a meme that like a lot of white people have, like, you know, they're like pepper is spicy. You know what I mean? There's some like Midwestern / British, you know, white people can't have spice, and that's, you know, that's not me. Okay. Let's see. So, for the garlic and ginger for the sauce, we need 4 cloves of garlic. Oh, you'll love to see that. Now, Wifebach did come clutch because we do have something that I am going to use to make this a little bit easier than when I was recording the other one that is going to be less messy, which is to say that we have a garlic press, and I am going to okay. I'm going to use that to just like start the crunch, but I'm not actually going to press it through the garlic press. I hope that's not super loud, because it's pretty loud for me. Hey, Tojo, how's it going? You never know when something is a reference or generational slang. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, fair enough. Let's see, and then 2 inches of ginger. Okay, so like, we're gonna say like that's 1 inch. And that's like another inch. Ooh, that one's actually kind of... That's like thick enough. I'm actually going to use a knife for that. There we go. Alright. There is our garlic and ginger for the sauce. Now, this time I actually do definitely need to use the... or get the garlic or get the ginger skin off, because, well, I don't have to, I just want to. Let's be real here. This is my great guillotine ulu knife. We're gonna get the ginger wet. We're gonna get the ginger wet. Jesus Christ. I just listen to myself say shit. That's like, we're so cooked, you guys. Yes, I'm cooking General Tso's chicken. Yeah, sorry, I missed that. My chat is gonna be a little scuffed today because I don't have the, oh, actually I should do these out of here because that's fine, we'll do that. Okay. Yeah, my setup is obviously not optimized for
these fucking goblins just like
gang banging
me from behind. No.
Yeah. That does count on bingo for echoing or repeating my own sound redeem, so congratulations, you got one on that one. Now, unfortunately, on this stream, there's not going to be any Girlbach or... Oh, no, actually, Gremlin is Gremlin Laugh. Oh my god, that is so loud for me. I hope it's not too loud for you guys. There are an astonishing number of things that you realize that you have set up on your stream when you have to set up a completely different machine to do it. Including, for example, I just completely forgot that I hadn't set up multi-streaming on this device until an hour before stream started. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Now, I explained this in Past Gray. However, those of you who are just tuning into the stream right now, a very handy, easy, safe way to peel ginger is just to get it wet and then just use a spoon, because that will just peel off the skin / bark, whatever you would call it, quite easily and quite safely.
Ashen
I don't
one,
need to worry about
hearest thou my voice still?
Fingers. That's right. You're lucky you can't strip me, that's true. a little louder than normal, but not too bad. Okay, good. It's much louder for me, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, so I didn't have my sound redeem set up at all on this system, and then obviously none of my VTuber stuff, and also obviously no stream avatars. And what are other things? Oh, my chat was incorrect. It was like my way old chat widget, so obviously that was not correct. Yeah, there was like a bunch of random bullshit I had to set up, even though I had the capacity to stream. It was just like not... Just missing a bunch of stuff that I kept remembering. Okay, great. That's good enough. We'll just tidy all this up. And, oh, looks like we have an ad break. Okay. You know what? That's great. We're gonna just use this opportunity to go and, hydrate and unhydrate as per usual. So I will be right back. Alright, chat, we're back. We've returned. I've done nothing because I was busy, you know, peeing. fun. Like, I hope this is fun. I hope this turns out fun. It's very silly. We could always introduce some wacky shit in the future. So, what I'm going to do here, we're going to use this garlic press to just, like, break... Ooh, that is very reflective. We're going to break just a little bit so that it's easier to peel off without actually pushing it through the press. Ooh, can you guys actually hear that crunching sound? Because that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. Kind of a nice crunch. Oh, how do I turn on subtitles? Oh, apologies on that one. That's another one of those things that I forgot to re-enable on this one, so they're probably not visible on this PC. My bad. More like medieval torture device? I mean... Okay. Alright. So, we're gonna bring out our... Well, no, we're not. We are going to remove the outer layers from this. The garbage of the garlic. I have a problem in that we have a nice bag that we use for storing leftover garlic and ginger that, like, lets it have, like, basically, like, lets some oxygen through. But the problem is that... Yeah, there we go. That's the shit. The problem is that once it goes in there, I forget that I have it. So I went and got a new head of garlic, and then I went to put it in the bag the other day, and then I pulled out, you know, like half a head of garlic that was sprouting tentacles. That had just been in there for a while. It's fine, and I know they're not tentacles, they're roots or whatever. I don't know, like, what are roots if not nature's tentacles, right? Am I right? I'm continuing the bit. The what? Huh? Oh. They're, normally in my streams, I do generate closed captions. They are not perfect, but they are okay. And you can actually turn them on by, there is like a little closed caption button. However, that is done through a, that is done through an OBS plugin, which I have not installed on OBS on this machine. Once again, ways in which I have imported my data from my main streaming setup and then completely forgotten how many things I had to install in addition to just that. So, yeah. There we go. Okay, great. I'm gonna pick these up real quick. We'll need those in a second. I'm gonna clean off this cutting board just so that it gets the shit out of the way. I'll be right back. Okay. Much faster garlic peeling? Yeah, that's right. That's right, you can thank Wife Bach. Alright, and then we're using our beautiful little guillotine cutter. Now, should you mince garlic and ginger at the same time? I don't know. I don't know if there's a cooking rule for that or not. I don't really care, because they are going into the same thing at the same time. And, you know, like, so, whatever. Yes, the garlic is obviously much softer than the ginger, but, you know, I'm not too worried about it. Besides, once it gets... Also, sorry, I keep brushing the mic stand. Problem with being right-handed and having everything to the right of the cutting area. But it is what it is. What's for dinner today? We are cooking General Tso's chicken, baby! It's funny, I was talking to a friend, and I told them about this stream, and I was like, I'm cooking General Tso's, and they were like, they're from the UK, and they were like, is that one of those, like, American Chinese foods? And I'm like, it is! But I was honestly shocked that she didn't know what it was, because, like, yes, it's American Chinese food, right? It's not real Chinese food. However, I sort of assumed that the amount of cultural, like, cross-pollination between America and the UK would... Because I know that they have fucking fast food Chinese takeout in the UK. So I was kind of shocked, and so afterwards, I looked it up, and I was like, General Tso's Chicken, UK. And Google tells me that they don't really have it there. And the closest that they had... was just called, like... God, what do they call it? It was the way that British people name their foods either sounds like it was made up for a children's nursery, or it's just the most literal description of exactly what the fuck it is. And it was just like... small deep-fried chicken, or something like that, with sauce. It was like deep-fried chicken with sauce. And I'm like, okay, you guys. The fucking people that bring us beans on toast, or like similarly, the other day I was seeing one about like, for all intents and purposes, a grilled cheese, but it was just like one half, and it was just like, cheese on toast, ain't it? I was like, oh, okay, you guys. Beans on toast, cheese on toast, beans on what, I'm like, okay, alright. Okay, come on. Thing on other thing. Now, we're getting pretty good there. Like, it doesn't need to be completely tiny, because it's actually nice to have these be in, like, little bite-sized chunks, because these are going to be getting fried, as I said earlier. Again, not deep fried, they're just going into a wok. I heard orange chicken came from General Tso's, and that's even funnier. Yeah. Orange chicken, ain't it? Orange sauce on fried chicken. That would be like the British version of calling it that. I think we're good there. I think that's good enough. So we are going to put all of this lovely stuff into our final prep bowl, because that's everything we need for the sauce. So now it's time to get the chicken ready. That's good enough. I also find that it is infinitely fucking easier to wash your dishes as you go. Especially if you're in the prepping phase like this, not in the cooking phase. Because food comes off of this so much easier. And then we put some peppers in there, because they're going to go in at the same time. Alright, great. These are all of our ingredients for the sauce. So it's going to go ginger, garlic, peppers, all in until they're nicely fried. Then we're going to throw in our cooking alcohol, let it cook off a little bit, and then we're going to put in the remaining dry spices, chicken stock, and soy sauce. So, this is our sauce prep stuff. Sauce is all ready to get cooked as soon as we're ready to do it. Okay, this is all gonna get moved to the side now. What is General Tso? Yeah, so General Tso is a fried chicken that has a sauce that is generally a little bit sweet and spicy. I wouldn't say it's like sweet and sour pork, for example, but it's like kind of, but it's like spicier than that. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but I mean, these are the ingredients in it, so you might be able to just sort of guess from that. Okay, I have to reorient all of my cooking area in order to bread this chicken, so bear with me for a minute as I move all of this shit elsewhere. Question is where? Turns out that when you have streaming stuff and a bunch of ingredients and a bunch of stuff left over, you do start running out of kitchen space pretty quick. This there.
Oh, fuck yeah! Right in the
Right
ass.
in the ass. That's right. That's right. Okay. So, we are... Nope, we're not ready for that yet. Yeah. Alright. I found a good spot for this. It's gonna be a little dangerous. But what is VTubing if not a little dangerous? Okay, we're good. It's not really dangerous, I just mostly meant, like, if I fuck up, I'll spill it all. Okay, great. Out of the way, we'll wipe off our surface from the extras. Make sure we don't, like, directly burn some ginger or garlic remnants here. Okay. Great. Love to see it. Now, I'm gonna bring out a good old pan. Good old washing pan. Yeah, the face revealing, exactly. Always a danger, always a danger. Did I now there's a face reveal in my counter reflection? Is it really visible? We'll watch the footage back. Okay. So, for this we need 50-50 of flour and what's the fucking cornstarch? Half a cup of each is the starting amount, so I'll grab a little measure for that because that's a little big. Half cup flour. Shadowy outline. Okay, perfect. Like any good vampire lord, it's merely an echo in the shadows. Or something. Okay, there's our flour. And some of these things I can move farther out of the way. Then our cornstarch. Over here. It's actually a lot of cornstarch. You don't usually... You know what? It's fine. This part's not the most important. We're a little fuck it we ball here. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty close. Okay, great. Rummaging noises. Yeah, it is a nice measuring stick. Probably won't need any more of that, but I'll leave it over here just in case. Okay, and then we have to use everyone's favorite cooking implement that is often useless, but is actually very nice in this situation, which is a whisk. Whisks are extremely annoying once you start introducing liquids, but fortunately, we're not introducing liquids to this. Not really, anyway. So, get that all nicely mixed together. And now, I'm gonna have to move some other shit. Rummaging noises increase. That doesn't need to be there. You can go back there, you can go over there. Okay, I don't think you can see that, but I just have a pan over here that is for the chicken to go. You don't think you own a whisk? I mean, fair enough. Yeah, whiskey business, the classic. Whisks are really not that important. You can do it with a fork, it's just faster with a whisk. You can also do it with a sifter. Alright, now we're bringing back the chicken from the past. And as per standard food guidelines, we have a wet hand and a dry hand, mostly. Give or take. It's fine. Now, I won't really be able to look at chat very well during this segment because I'm going to be busy with my hands, like, disgusting with chicken goop. And I won't be able to pick up my phone safely. So, you know, it's fine. So, what we're doing is we are covering our chicken in a nice layer of flour and cornstarch, because that is what you fry and make that nice, beautiful golden sheen. And the cornstarch makes it chunkier. So, you gotta make sure that it's fully covered. And I'm just setting it off to the side because we don't need it until we fry it. Oh, yeah, gotta get that. Okay. I don't know how well you can see this. It's white on white on white. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright, get a little bit more chicken in there. Just really separated it out. Oh, this chicken already smells amazing from the marinade last night. Fucking hype, you guys. Low contrast, yeah. That's right. So do you guys, like, I would say cooking is something that I enjoy, but it does take, especially cooking like this, I enjoy it, especially because it tastes fucking amazing. The results are worth it. However, it also takes a while, as you're noticing. Now, obviously, it would probably take a little less time if I wasn't trying to make content out of it. But, with that said, it still takes a while. And so, I definitely don't cook like this super often. But it is fun, especially for a special occasion. So, you know, I don't know. You guys cook stuff like this? Is this like, normal for you guys? Above and beyond? Is this, beyond the pale? Like, how are you? Where's this fall on your guys' cooking spectrum? Mainly on weekends, there's no time during the business week. Yeah, ain't that the fucking truth. Now, what I will tell you is normally I don't actually do all of this when I make this recipe. I cheat a little bit, which is why I said especially since I'm making it for content, it's taking longer. I don't normally deep fry my own chicken. I buy, like, store-made popcorn chicken, like, in the frozen section, and then just, like, heat it up in the oven, so that I can completely ignore this step that I'm doing right now. And because the sauce is, like, what really carries this dish, right? Like, obviously fried chicken is, like, the main ingredient, but buying store-fried chicken and just whipping up the sauce is significantly faster. And so usually when I make this, I just don't deep fry the chicken. I just get already fried chicken. And that is much, much, much easier. And cleaner, for what it's worth. Not that this is, like, the worst, but obviously, like, dealing in tons of, like, powders and raw chicken and, you know, like, you know, it gets messy. You cook for others? That's the other thing, is like, cooking something like this for myself, it would have to be like a really special occasion, I think. But it's fun to cook something like this for friends or an out-of-town guest or like whatever. All right, I'm gonna toss this bag so it's out of the way. I do feel like there is an inordinately large amount of boy failure and girl failure VTubers that like literally cannot be trusted whatsoever with anything dangerous. And I feel like I'm on the stronger end of that spectrum. I'm a real ass adult VTuber, at least sometimes. I mean, yes, I still love anime waifus, and yes, I am still a cringe VTuber, but at least motherfucker knows how to cook, you know? Okay, alright. That's all done. Don't need any of that anymore. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound of my hands slurping back here. I know you can hear the sink. The slurp. Alright. Oh, good God. Woo! Alright, so I don't need this anymore. We're doing a little bit of kitchen cleanup because I only have so much space. Alcohol back in frame. Chicken farther out of frame. Alcohol back out of frame. Okay. And of course, we've got to wipe up this area again because I don't want to burn some corn flour. It's a slide puzzle move. Well, certainly when I'm trying to not show my face and things like that. Normally it's not so bad, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. Now, to fry things. And I definitely have a lot less experience with frying things. I've done it before. However, not nearly as often as I've done other cooking things. Yeah, that's fine. Fuck it. Just put the whole thing in there. And you only have a 2-ass kitchen to begin with? True. Wait, do you normally put a lid on for deep frying? Wait, hold on. Okay, well, I do have a lid somewhere over the rainbow. Give me a second. Where did the lids go? I removed the lids because I was mildly concerned about doxing from reflection, but I'm not, like, super concerned about it. Let's just say oil doesn't say. Okay. You know what? Mostly splatter control? Okay. I do have an anti-splatter, like, lid that I can put on. So we'll keep this just in case. It's actually quite nice. Now, it's obviously very big for this one. This is more for, like, the big pan. But this'll do if I need to for that purpose. Okay, great. Good to know. Good looking out, chat. Good looking out. Okay, now, memory serves. You put this on, like, medium heat until it starts boiling. Right? Right? Actually, I will say, does anybody know offhand the temperature I need to get the oil to? Because I might have to go look that up in a second. So if I do have a thermometer. I actually have quite a nice, like, liquid thermometer that does meats, liquids, etc. I mean, it just does everything. So you can put this into a frying. 325 to 375. That sounds about right. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you. See, listen, chat coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. I remember, I think it was Doki Bird was talking about how in the time between when she left Niji Sanji and before she re-debuted, that she realized that she was having a hard time playing video games because she had, like, spent so long offloading all of her mental faculties to chat for gaming, where it's like, because you have so much stuff going on with streaming, both in terms of talking and being entertaining, and then, like, all the tech stuff and all that shit, that she had just, like, dumped any kind of gaming instinct if it wasn't for, like, FPSs, and so any puzzles or anything about getting lost or any information that was delivered to her, she just wasn't storing. And so she realized that she couldn't just be like, chat, what did they just say? And it kind of ruined it for her, and I find that extremely funny. And I can definitely see the potential for that when it's like, chat, how hot do I make this? Like, somebody tell me quick. $350? Yeah, $350. Okay, I think $350 is what the recipe said, so, you know, which should be fine. Should be fine. Okay. Great. I do have a wire rack for drying that I better put accessible. Hey. It's fine. Listen, this was fine. We're in the 95% prep zone. Okay. This is where you're gonna see some real serious shit. Okay. Also, again, I have no idea how loud this is gonna be on the microphone. I tried to balance the audio and put a good compressor on it, but like, it is what it is. All right. That'll do. Good enough. Good enough. I also realized, like, halfway through this stream that I was gonna need to get some sandals, because standing on our hard kitchen floor for several hours straight without, like, being able to sit down or anything like that was not a great plan, you know? Not the greatest plan. If you guys are enjoying this content, I am totally willing to do this again now that I've, like, gotten the general gist of the setup down. Wait, hold on, that was, oh, gifted sub! Thank you for the gifted sub, Kirby! Thank you. Gotta get one of those standing mats. I mean, I just don't have, like, space in the kitchen right now, you know what I mean? Because I've got so much shit out. So if this is something you guys are having fun with, we can definitely take recommendations. We can try cooking something I've never cooked with before. I'm not going to do that for my first cooking stream, but I am willing to do it for content. Like, if somebody has a recipe that they think would be fun for me to cook, I'm willing to do a YOLO cook stream with like, the only prep being that I read the fucking recipe. So, you know. Have me make pho? Okay, I will say, I don't think I'm gonna do something that's as labor intensive as, like, making noodles from scratch on stream. But if you mean, like, making the broth and like, seasonings and stuff, I would be down for that. I have made ramen from scratch, like, not the noodles, but the entire broth. I have made ramen from scratch in the way where it literally takes, like, 24 hours of simmering and, like, you know, like, what's the word where you, like, skimming and simmering and, like, all of the, you know, putting in, like, the like, kelp and seaweed and some mushrooms and making the chicken stock from scratch, where you, like, bake the chicken wings and then you put in the water to take the browned portion and turn it into a nice broth, and then, like, you soak them all in there and then you skim it. And then I made what do you call the pork pork chashu? I made homemade pork chashu. It's the best ramen, some of the best ramen I've ever had in my life, but that was a lot. That's a little too much. No one makes the noodles? Yeah, that's kind of what I hear. Even, I think I was seeing the same thing with ramen, is they were like, oh yeah, no, fucking, nobody makes the noodles themselves. They just make the broth because the noodles are very labor intensive and, you know, yada yada. I have no idea how long it's been. I feel like it's been an hour 45. I'm gonna check OBS. Oh my god, I'm so fucking good at this. It's been an hour 40. My wife is so bad at estimating time, and I'm quite good at it generally, and it always mystifies her. And, like, the amount of times that I get up from my seat 10 seconds before an alarm goes off when I'm cooking and I just leave something on the, you know, like, in the oven. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's a useful skill, though. Useful skill. Also, for some reason, the clock on our microwave has, like, died, which is weird. It's a weird thing to die. Oh, actually, that reminds me of the other day. I don't know if you guys see these things, like, on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, where somebody'll like, find something out, and they'll be like, no way, and then they'll go to their own appliance or thing or whatever, and then check it, and then they'll find out it's real. And the one in particular was that, like, somebody found out that if they open their microwave, they can actually remove the entire front panel for cleaning. It just slides off. And so I did the same thing. I was like, no fucking way. And I opened it, and I realized that there was, like, a thin little lip there that was definitely made to slide it in there, but it didn't work for us because our, like, handle screwed through the glass into the plate behind it. So it didn't work for us, but the design was made such that it could have worked depending on the construction of other parts of it, and I was just like, that shit's wild. Never in my life. Posture check? My god. Imagine. Oh, wait, I wonder if you'll hear my ankles crack. Hold on. Did you guys hear that? Probably not, because I feel like it probably filtered out the noise. Yeah, depending on the model or brand that comes out of the generic factory. Exactly. Because, like, so many of these factories, right, it's like they make the exact same parts for 20 different products, and then they, like, modify one little thing a tiny amount. But, like, everything else is the exact same. You think you heard the crack? Yeah. That was my ankles. My ankles make a powerfully loud, satisfying crack. And you have to understand that I have noise canceling on this stream so that you guys aren't hearing things like my refrigerator running or things like that, or, like, fans. So the fact that you heard that through noise canceling, noise. It sounded like you smacked your leg? Yeah, that was my ankle popping. That is my ankle crack. I know that I've said this before, but my ankles have been absolutely ruined from racquetball and handball and soccer. And that is how stiff and tense they are, is that all I did was squatted, and that was the sound of my ankles cracking, like cracking your knuckles. The 30 plus debuff, it's certainly some of that. It's the sports debuff plus the 30 plus. Yeah. It's a combo meal, okay? Since we're making fast food, it's a combo meal. What I will say is, any of you guys, yeah, we're stacking debuffs. Yeah, they definitely stack for sure. If any of you guys are like interested in cooking, but you don't do it, the biggest godsend for cooking is YouTube. Because yes, like recipe books are great, but when you're a novice cook, the thing that's the most scary is not being able to like, you can read it, but you're like, well, when it says brown, like how brown is brown? Or when it says, you know, like some shit that's like a cooking term, and you're like, I don't even know what that means. But if you just watch somebody and they have a YouTube video of cooking it, you can just watch them and you can see, oh, it's that brown, right? It's like, oh, it's about this long. Oh, it's about that brown. And you can watch them like stir it or whisk it or whatever. And it makes it so much easier to learn how to cook if you can just find like a good YouTube cook that shows the process of it. And then you kind of just like watch it, and then you get the recipe, and then you like prep it so that you can just do it in the order that they do it. It helps so much. Compared to how many things I can make in the reference book cookbook per... Yeah, exactly. Like I have cookbooks and I use them sometimes. Cookbooks are great for baking, right? Where they just give you the fucking proportions that you need, and then that's kind of it. I don't know if you guys can actually see the time. Or, yeah. I mean, it's upside down for you guys, but whatever. What the fuck is mirepoix? Mirepoix? I have no idea what the fuck that is. Yeah, I'm sure for like official chefs or whatever, that makes sense. Okay, we're in like the high 200s. Was the thermometer beeping? Yes. I'm honestly not sure why it was beeping, because it can absolutely handle the temperature and it can absolutely handle oil. So maybe I just like dipped it too deep in the oil or something, because it can absolutely handle that temperature. All right. Okay. Anyway, yes, somebody in chat asked me where I got this recipe from. This is from Joshua Weissman. He's definitely got a bit of an eccentric personality, but his food is fucking great. My two favorite YouTube chefs that I like, that have never had a miss for me, are Joshua Weissman and Marion's Kitchen. I love both of their fucking recipes, and I think that they do a really good job of showing it. This was from his fast food but better challenge, where, or not challenge, but basically he took a bunch of fast food dishes and then would make a recipe for it to do at home. And so this was General Tso's chicken but better. Yeah, the goat Josh, see, there you go. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he knows what the fuck he's talking about, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. Okay, it says like alarm set. Maybe there's like an alarm function that I've never used on this thing. Okay, we're up to about 315, so we're almost there. I don't know what that means. I don't know why you're like this. Don't be like this. Now, one thing you maybe shouldn't do when you're doing something that's dangerous, like frying, is drinking. And I did do that. I am doing that. I believe he was a pro chef before he did YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. He is absolutely a pro chef. 100%. He's definitely talked about that before. Which certainly helps, right? And it helps that the vast majority of his recipes are pretty easy to follow, right? Like, there's kind of a lot of stuff going into this, but the actual execution of this isn't particularly hard. And I think that really helps a lot for things that, like, taste really good and aren't that hard to make, especially when they have really common ingredients. Man's living on the edge while cooking. It's fine. It's fine. Bow, bow. Officer, I did have a cider. Yes, officer, I haven't had any food today. Because I'm about to make a bunch of General Tso's chicken, and I want to eat the shit out of that, alright? Listen. So yes, is the alcohol hitting a little harder? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's fine. Okay? It's fine. Should I turn up the temperature? Or is this fine? It's on like 5 right now. Those of you who know what the fuck you're talking about. I would say that that's like the hardest part about using the stovetop is like when something says medium, you're like, great, what is medium on a scale of 1 to 10 on my stove? Okay, great. Regardless, we're up to 10. Ow! Still hot, obviously. You're only 20% boy failure, so you've got to introduce chaos otherwise? Yeah, exactly. Okay, great. Alright, we are at a good level to start frying our fucking chicken. I'm gonna be a safe boy and load this chicken up into the, like, I don't know what you call it. The scoop, the wire scoop. Come on. Now, I was told, and by told I mean from Joshua Weissman's video, that it is helpful to stir a little bit just to make sure that it doesn't stick to itself or stick to the surfaces. A spider? Is that what this is called? That's fucking metal. I don't think that they'll be glued together because I started stirring. That was kind of the idea. I think they'll be okay. I hope they'll be okay. Like I said, chat, this is the part I'm the least... It's okay if they stick? Yeah, but, like, it's better if they don't. Still taste the same? True. True. This is the part I have the least experience with, by far. Because deep frying is a pain in the ass because it goes through so much oil. And if you keep the oil, then, like, you've basically monopolized a huge amount of space. And if you don't, then it means you're throwing away a lot of oil, like, all the time. So, I almost never deep fry anything. I've probably only deep fried things, like, maybe 5 times in my life. So, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, you know? I believe the recommendation was about 3 minutes. So, that's what we're doing. How's the sound, by the way? Oh, ironically, it's actually easier to see from above like you guys have. because like the bubbles are making it a little bit harder for me, but the top down is good. By that, I didn't mean like bad. I meant like, does it sound nice? Like, can you hear that sizzle? You recommend I cut to check after those 3 minutes? Okay. I mean, could we also not just like cook it a little bit longer? Hopefully they are cut thin enough that it should be fine. But that's a good shout. Good shout. Also, okay. Next question, should I double fry these? I've never double fried anything. Okay, alright, good. Professional cook in the chat says don't bother if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And I don't. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Chat, are we cooking? Hey, Dashi, how's it going? We are cooking. We are actually getting, like, close to the end. Because we're in the frying stage, and so then after that, we just have the sauce, which I've already prepped all the ingredients for. Let's fucking go! Friend of the channel, hey, it's Dashi. Dashi, we are making General Tso's chicken today, from scratch. Hey, Faye, how's it going? Oh, thank you for the gifted sub, Kirby. Yes, we are making General Tso's chicken, which I know is not a real Chinese food. However, it does taste real fucking good. It does taste real fucking good. And so I am making it entirely from scratch. Oh, that looks fucking gorgeous. Holy shit. Oh, chat. Wait, hold on. Hold the fuck on. Let me get that back in here. Let me get that back in scene. I don't know if you can tell how golden that is. That shit, ooh, is good. That's good. You love General Tso's chicken? I love this. This recipe is so good. And I was telling chat earlier that I don't normally actually do the deep frying. I normally just cheat and buy like pre-fried like popcorn chicken. And then basically just like make the sauce from scratch, because the sauce is what's like really goated about the recipe. But you know, for content reasons, we're gonna fry it, of course. That chicken looking crispy. It's so different when you fry it yourself, though. It's true, like the chicken is definitely better, but the sauce, on this is so good. I'll just read out the ingredients of the sauce, just so that you have a general idea. There is 1 tablespoon... Oh, by the way, I don't know how to pronounce this. I always say it's Shaoxing, or Shaoxing, like S-H-A-O-X-I-N-G. So 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, mixed with a bit of vinegar that you make into a slurry for the thickening action. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 4 minced garlic cloves, 2 inches of minced ginger, a teaspoon of Chinese chili flakes. However, I said fuck that and I put in a tablespoon and a half because I like spice. 5 red chilies. And I don't remember if I said the soy sauce part. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Shaoxing? Okay, thank you. it's real good. And so, like I said, we're in the frying phase, but all of the sauce ingredients are prepped and like measured out and diced and everything, so they're ready to just make the sauce as soon as we're done with the frying. Good pronunciation? Thank you. Listen, I try. Listen, I may be a dumbass white boy, but one, I have better tolerance than a lot of dumbass white boys for spice, and I like to at least try to pronounce things at least close. You know, you're not gonna catch me saying like croissant, but like, you know, we'll like I'll say French-ish, you know, or in this case Chinese-ish or Japanese-ish. You know. Happy to see? Well, I'm happy that you're happy. Putain! That's right, accent box. That's a bingo. That's a bingo hit for anybody who wants to do the accent box. Oui, oui, putain! Le petit, whatever chicken is in French, I don't know. Oh, that's looking pretty nice. That's looking pretty nice. I think I'm gonna turn this down a little bit, actually. I'm gonna turn it back down. Cause this got crispy like way faster. Oh, oui, oui. Words hard, language hard, true. Chad, how do we feel about that? It's a little hard for you to see because of the like the light. However, I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty good on this chicken batch. Oh yeah, that looks great. Alright. Next batch up, baby! Poulet! Ah! You know what? I feel like they said poulet in Expedition 33. Which would make sense. Like, cause they're like, you chicken shit, right? Like, oh, poulet! Poulet putain! I forgot the full explanation. The more you use the oil, the faster the oil fries. Oh, interesting. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, or maybe not a lot of sense, but like I can understand how that could happen. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Like I'm sure that the heat is causing some sort of chemical reaction in it. Ah, one of the reasons they keep the used oil. Yeah, okay, so my great-grandfather... How many of you guys have seen City Slickers? This may be a dank reference. Because limited always calls himself a boy failure. I mean, listen. How many of you guys have seen City Slickers? Like, I know this is an old-ass movie, but you may have seen it. Honestly, I would be surprised if anybody in my chat has seen City Slickers. Original. I mean, obviously both, but original specifically. For those of you who don't know what I'm about to say... Oh wait, ads are about to happen. Of course, alright. Well, I'll wait until the ads are done. Okay, it's getting pretty hot. It's getting hot in here. Isn't that good, Chicky Fry? That's right, Faye. You know, I was told that I had male wife attributes, and I don't know what that means. Can somebody in chat explain to me what male wife entails? Don't worry about it? No, I want to know. Because listen, part of my abilities as a vampire is to deceive people about, you know, my age and experience. And so I know all the fucking Zoomer speak, but what I don't know is the AO3 lingo. You know what I mean? I don't know, I'm not fluent in shipper, and I feel like that would help me greatly. Honestly, I'm really pleased how much this isn't splattering. Got that bussy? I don't think that's what it means. Have I seen Way of the House Husband? No, but I vaguely know what it is. Is it essentially just, like, man who can do household activities that are typically assigned via outdated gender norms to women, aka cooking, cleaning, etc.? Is that all that male wife means? Because if so, like, valid. I love that I literally said almost exactly what you said without reading it. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. We love that. It's called being a functional member of society. We need more male wives. You read any of those romance novels? I don't. I don't read very many romance novels. I will cop to that. I am not a romance novel reader. Dude cooks dinner and helps clean up? Okay. I see. I like... How should I put this? I like romance, but I often don't like romance novels or romance movies because they don't feel authentic a lot of the time. I like romance that feels like it was developed well and earned and feels realistic. And unfortunately, a lot of those don't feel that way. In the same way that, like, action movies don't feel realistic if you actually are interested in, like, guns or fighting or whatever in, like, a real sense, you know? Male wife material? Okay, alright. We're educating the Gry on some of the lingo, you know? There was an entire era of internet culture that I lived through but was busy doing other things, where I have, like, zero experience with AO3 and with Tumblr and with Vine. Even though I'm old enough to have been a part of all of them, it just, like, wasn't what I was spending my time doing. And then, like, a lot of them have been suffused in internet culture in the meantime, and I don't know what the fuck any of it means most of the time. Oh, that looks fucking great. Not gonna lie. I should turn it down? Okay. However, I'm almost done, because I only have, like, one more batch left. So I am turning it down, but we're on the last batch, so we should be good. This looks delicious. Hey, Suckbees, how's it going? The real magic is about to start, and it's great that the ad break just happened, because that means that all of the rest of it is going to get done in the next hour, which is great. We're going to leave this here for a second as I get this out of the fucking way. Alright, great. Suckbees! Oil cools down. Yeah, I turned it down just a little bit. Originally I had it, like, up to 6, and then I turned it down to 5, and it was still cooking really fast, and so now I've turned it down to, like, 4.5. So, like, it's probably still... It'll be fine. Oh, Faye, you were in culinary arts too? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I have literally no training, just things I picked up from YouTube. And, things I picked up from YouTube, and I will say that frying is something I have only done a couple times. I said that earlier, but some of you guys weren't here yet. Okay, what if I cut into the fattest piece? Ooh, that's very hot. Still, amazing. Shocking. Fried chicken is hot. Okay, this is the fattest piece from the last batch. I think we're good.
all look perfectly beautiful. Alright, I'm gonna take this knife, though. Because I think all the rest of them should be fully cooked, because they were already a little hotter, and they've had plenty of time to, like, continue cooking. Enjoy my noms? Alright, alright. When I'm gonna go on Iron Chef? Not this day. But I can follow a recipe, so, you know. VTuber cook-off would be kind of fun. The logistics of that would be kind of a nightmare, though. You know what I mean? I would love to do an off collab, like a VTuber cooking off collab. I think that would be fun as fuck. Unfortunately, I don't have a kitchen island, and so that, like, really isolates a lot of our area to just the stovetop. Can I imagine a Cutthroat Kitchen but VTuber edition? Yeah, totally. Have you guys ever seen the like Breaking Bad Kitchen Nightmares edit? Because it's very funny. It like takes episodes of Kitchen Nightmares and then edits in like Gus Fring and Walter White and Tuco, and like, you know, like Tuco pounds up the meth powder and snorts it in the middle of the kitchen and is like, tight! Tight, 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 tight! And, like, Walter is all in his, like, it's so fucking funny. Want to do cooking streams one day, where I teach chat how to cook something? You absolutely should. It's not, like, it's a bit of a pain, but it's not the end of the world. I literally am using the same hand cam that I was using for painting models, and this hand cam's, like, not super expensive, and then I just got like a mic stand for my mic, you know, and then that's pretty much it. Like, I'm definitely enjoying this, so I, like, you know, assuming chat is enjoying this, I could definitely see doing this again with other stuff. I did pick something that I know is good and I know how to cook. So, you know. Whew! Alrighty! Alrighty! Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys here with this stovetop for a second. Because I gotta pee, and I was busy. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. First of all, let me check out. All right. All right, we're back. We're back. Ah, that's the stuff. Alcohol number 2 in the midst of a cooking stream? Why I never. All right. All right, we're gonna reorganize our cooking area a little bit here. Now, this is where the magic happens. All right? As a reminder, we prepped all of this about 45 minutes ago. So that we can cook this. Now, I am what Uncle Roger would call a wok fuckboy. Because I have 2 woks. Okay? I'm a wok fuckboy. I have 2 woks. 2 woks at the same time. Every man's dream. So, my question is, should I use the nice wok? Or should I use the battle-scarred veteran wok? I love Uncle Roger, he's very funny. Not the Uncle Roger mention, he's very funny. He's a very funny comedian. Old wok? Okay. Alright. Alright, we'll use the battle veteran wok, alright? Now, I'm gonna remind myself exactly how this works. Medium high, shimmering, add all the shit, cook vigorously, stir until it's barely toasted, then the wine for 20 seconds, then all the rest. Okay, great. Alright, got it. Got it. We're cooking. Old, seasoned. That's right. The wok hay, if you will. Okay. Yeah, alright, chat, I'm gonna give you a reference just for fun. This is my nice new wok. It is hex-clad. It is a very nice cooking utensil, okay? I don't know if you can, like, tell, but it's very nice. It's very good. However, there is an air of authenticity to the battle wok. You know what I mean? The battle wok. Alright. Put it on medium high. Old, seasoned. That's right. I will say, Hexclad is very good. Not the wok flex, baby! Listen, my parents... Okay, I think that those of you who are a little bit older will understand the dilemma of working adults who, like... If there's something that we want that is reasonable to be gifted, we probably already bought it ourselves. And so every once in a while, my parents will get me something very nice, like a cooking set. Or like, I mean, it was actually, my cookware was over several years worth of gifts. But it's like, that's the type of thing you don't just YOLO buy. So I do have like hex-clad pots and pans because my parents are like, we like that you cook. You fucking VTuber weeb, no. And I have, in fact, enjoyed them quite muchly, so. Probably would not have bought them myself because they are expensive, but they're very nice. He's Christopher Walken, holy shit. This, for reference to those of you who are more recently in stream, this is the garlic, ginger, and peppers that we're going to be doing. There's quite a bit in here. That's going to be quite good. Alright. Well, hey, buddy. You want to say hi to stream? No? Okay. Sorry, you guys almost had a cat, a cat debut, but alas. Okay, alrighty, here we go. Gotta be very careful with all of this technology surrounding me. I cannot express to you how good this smells. Also, I love this spoon. This is also a gift from my parents. It's a wooden spoon that's dyed beautifully. Now, I can't be, I do have to lock the fuck in right now, because in this phase, it's very easy to burn things, which we're, like, right on the edge of, so I can't lose, like, too much focus. Alright, great. Now, we are doing the Shaoxing wine. Okay, great. Now we add our soy sauce and chicken stock, as well as our red pepper flakes and sugar. Make sure that we stir to make sure that it is continuing to mix evenly and not burning. Yeah. This is what it's all this is what it's all come down to. Because this part goes very fast and it's gonna look fucking amazing. Alright, now while I'm at it, I'm gonna do a quick cleanup of some of these things that I no longer need. So that I have room to plate this bitch up in a bit. Great, alright, cool. We are now boiling. Okay, and then as a reminder, we have vinegar mixed with cornstarch
that I have recently just re-stirred so that it's nice. And then we put this in here, and this is gonna get dummy thick real quick. Making sure that you guys aren't getting completely steamed out. For obvious reasons, I don't have a loud kitchen fan on right now. Okay. In goes our chicken. Off goes our heat. Now normally I would be moving this elsewhere, but I don't have the space to do that. Slash, I want to show you guys. So this is just slightly wrong, but it's fine. Okay. Dump that. I'm going to take this out of camera for a second. Now I came up with an ingenious plan, which is to use a wire rack to just literally sit above the heat so that it's not actually touching. And then put a plate down. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to use a different plate so that you can see the contrast better, because it's already kind of a red sauce. So we'll use a blue plate. Spoilers, Gry has very colorful plates because I think they're cool. And there we have General Tso's chicken from scratch. Can you give that a second to cool down? I want to get me some chopsticks. Chopsticks are on brand in nice teal. Now, listen. Those of you who know that there is a difference between Chinese and Japanese chopsticks, don't come at me. I only have Japanese chopsticks, but it is what it is. Overflowing perfection. Ugh. Putting an entire recipe of General Tso's on a plate, you're goddamn right. Also, I'm gonna say, I don't use chopsticks the normal way, but it's like pretty close. And one of the funniest like single random moments of my life was when there were some Japanese exchange students that we were friends with in college, and she watched me using chopsticks in the dining hall, and she was just like, "You're better at chopsticks than I am." And I'm like, "Bitch, you're Japanese. What the fuck are you talking about?" I know this isn't like right, but I like to hold them like this, where like the bottom chopstick is in between my ring finger and then my thumb index finger. And then I use the middle finger as the grip, if that makes sense. Anyway. And yeah, this is General Tso's chicken from scratch. Hondo percento. No sauces. Fry the chicken ourselves. Say it varies per person on how to use them because of comfort and dominant hand. Well, of course it's different if you're not, proper, if you're not the same handedness, of course, but. Oh. Yep. It's just as good as I fucking remember. We're gonna give you guys a view here, chat. Beautifully tender on the inside. Nicely cooked. Whew! It do be a bit spicy. It's almost like I put in 5 times as many chili flakes as the recipe called for. But you know what? It's great. Tastes amazing. A+, 100% recommend. If you guys are interested, I absolutely will post the recipe in Discord. Because like I said, if you want to be like lazy, that sauce doesn't take very long to make, as you noted. So if you just get any fried chicken and then just like fucking toss it in that sauce, that's the shit. That's the shit. Okay, but like send us some, what the fuck? Yeah. Well, you know. Fuck me. I didn't eat all day, and this shit hit so hard. Holy fuck. Woo! Lordy. You guys are getting a little bit of a mukbang ending here. You know? You don't get to watch me chew it, but I think that's probably for the best for a lot of you guys. Whew! When is my wife Greg gonna cook for chat? Well, listen. Actually, you know what? Let's do something a little experimental. I'll bring Mrs. Bach in, and she can have a taste, and she can verify.
Smells good.
Say hi, chat.
Hi, chat. Yes. Some of this chicken. Chicken. I'm not as good at chopsticks as Bri. Yep.
How'd you rate the spice level?
I'm letting that spice sit before I give a verdict on that, because I saw how much you put in.
You know, I will say that Mrs. Bach used to have 0 spice tolerance, and she's practiced. She doesn't have as high a spice tolerance as I do, but like, she's in, you know.
I like it.
She's trained.
I like it. Yeah, I could eat a whole meal of this spice level.
If we put this in like Thai ginger, right, where they only go to 4 stars, I would say this is like a 2.5.
Yeah.
2.5 to 3, like not quite as hot as 3,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
not just 2, you know? Damn, what a lucky wife! Gains!
I know. I'm blessed.
Imagine if I actually did this all the time. That would be crazy.
Ugh.
Nut.
Thank you, Grabok.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, chat, what did you think? Did you enjoy cooking with Grandpa Gry? What would you like to see me cook in the future? You know? Those of you who are professional chefs, let me know, you know, how I did. Those of you who are boy and girl failures in chat, just know that this isn't actually that hard of a recipe. We just gotta follow instructions. And you will wow all of your guests if you ever make this for them. It's fun to watch? Okay, good. Listen, I was like really stressing about how to like figure out the camera placement, right? And like obviously this leaves something to be desired because I really only have like 1 burner worth, but it's really difficult to get camera placement that like gets multiple burners worth and has, like, good field of view without being too far away. You know? Added wipe taste test, 10 out of 10. Excellent. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'll tackle... I would tackle just about anything as long as it seems reasonable to cook in a stream like, you know? It's the first cooking stream you can fix over time and improve. Yeah, sure. I mean, I could certainly fix a lot of things with, like, how would I say this? Like, the technical side. I probably could make my model be tracked for this, but it would be, like, definitely kind of janky as I'm, like, moving around and turning in and out of focus, right? Because when you're VTubing, you're always looking, like, straight ahead for the most part. Whereas, like, with cooking, yeah, like, I don't know. I'd have to find, like, a place for, like, the camera and stuff like that if I really wanted to do that, but... Frying part made you hungry? Fuck me. Woo! My cat be lurking. Oh! God damn. Alright, well. Cat wants a snack? Yeah. Let me see if I can grab him for a guest appearance. Cat doesn't know how spicy it is? True. Alright. I can't really, like, show him to you because I would be putting him, like, right on top of an oven. Hey, buddy. You want to meow for chat? Hey, buddy. The most you can get is these black paws. As I hold him 6 inches above. You okay, buddy? Okay. Doesn't want to talk. Did not approve. Cat did not approve. No, I need more. Yes, I have, that was a me. That was a me doing a meow. Yes, I do have 2 cats, Zeus and Hades. They are brothers. One is gray and one is black. Cat tax paid. That's right. That's right. Fuck me. It was so good. I cannot express to you how good this recipe is. Alright. You know, I think I did okay for time. It's obviously a lot shorter than my normal streams, but you know, we made a good effort. It's almost 3 hours. We're gonna rate out here to our good buddy Carbon, who is currently low-key partner pushing. I don't think he's officially partner pushing, but, like, you know how it be. We're gonna rate out to Carbon. So, I'd really appreciate if you could give him a watch, maybe chill out in his chat for a little bit. I hope you guys all had fun with our cooking stream. I certainly had fun. Well, definitely a little something different, but I always am happy and open to do some different things, and, as I said, I think I'm gonna do a birthday stream in a couple weeks here with like a fingernail painting stream. So we're fucking around. We're doing some fun IRL stuff.
good to spice it up every now and then. Yeah, exactly. So the cooking definitely took some effort, but I'm mostly worked out the kinks, so it shouldn't be too hard to do in the future. All right, now my cats are chasing each other. We're about to have a wait. Oh, maybe they're looking. Maybe they see something in the yard. Anyway, all right. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna be off for the long weekend because I figure most of you guys are probably doing stuff anyway. So we'll be back next week on Monday. Ta-ta.